Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Ferdinand-Kalemba, a fifth-year medical student of Rezan State IP Pavlov Medical University, several by parentage, and a Ghanaian. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow students, as the clock ticks and draws nearer to our union's elections, it is crucial for us to depart from the destructive time-wasting exercise of unfounded personal attacks, petty name-calling, and character assassination, and rather move our energy towards the debate of real issues, concrete ways in which we can transform these numerous possibilities into viable programs that can and will create a better union for us. The break of a new dawn has come upon us. The egress of a new leadership awaits us. Where do you stand? While others subvert the minds of people to bring to a halt this machinery of unity, my humbled fortitude probes along this profound machinery in which I was invested, sweat, blood, tears, of a very people calloused by the words, "It won't hold long," the founding fathers. In this era of leadership, we don't only need efficiency, but equity, and this I am promising, leadership that builds a rapport with the people, where promises are palpable and where governance is for the people and by the people. Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, why I would be good at it. I have gathered experiences from all aspects of life, including my current position as a vice president of this union, and with my rich experiences and passion for a change pioneered by my previous achievements, I have no doubt that this position would be the platform for me to complete the commendable works that I have already started, and also to explore new developmental avenues. Running a segregated union like ours takes a lot of effort and experiences. These are the exact qualities I have demonstrated in both present and past. There is no other person more qualified than myself in this position. I would entreat you all to rally your support for me in rescuing this union from a source jeered by sentiments alluded with prematured ego and mechanized to disintegrate. Let's all be mindful of the fact that faith that is not tested cannot be trusted. Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, my achievements as vice president. As vice president, together with the other executives, we have fortified an affiliation with our mother union, NUGS-Ghana. This in recent times has ensured that we derive the mutual benefits from one another. We have together pushed and transcended boundaries that have opened new avenues of opportunities for the benefit of all. I sincerely believe that this healthy network would flourish on a platform of proper executive structures and unique exhibition of transparency and hard work, which I have already started. We have streamlined documentation issues between students studying in different institutions and the Embassy of Ghana. These have come a long way to relieve students from living under the constant fear of paranoia and faltering when it comes to immigration issues. A parametric point being the renewal and extension of biometric passports in the embassy. We have also initiated a regular Meet the Executives, which is also the President State of the Union Address Forum on radio, to ensure that there is live interactivity between members and the executive of our union. Not only on radio, our social media groups are kept active and people are able to question the work of the executives and propose changes that they feel might be beneficial to the progress of our union. Pervasive lingering questions which needed answers were addressed dispassionately that reflected the transparency agenda intrinsic within the constitution of our union per my jurisdiction as Vice President. Ladies and gentlemen, in line with Article 60 of our Constitution, Audit Committee, we have ensured that the provision of this particular article was followed through to the letter. This posed true accountability and transparency. We have nailed down the brouhaha that plagued our union with regards to the media committee and our radio station. This we achieved by sticking to the fundamental principles of constitutionality, which indeed were the stopgap measure for the lapses we had to deal with. Funding, although it is still the bane of our union, has significantly improved. Organizations like my own, Hope for All International, and also the embassy has always donated generously to the welfare of students and also to some of our union's activities. As Vice President, our administration demonstrated realism. We moved out to seek sponsorship for our union's activities. Time was a factor. A few of these were approved, but majority came in late. I have studied and noted the setbacks, and these I shall work on. Apathy was a problem with members from some sister unions. As Vice President, our administration made sure that vital information was relayed to all. This vouched our commitment to ending the long toll of apathy. Indeed, a true reflection of our efforts is the increase of the number of activities and number of active states of our union from a figure of just 9 to 20 active states this year. What a resilient people we are. What a mighty union we are. Our current decentralization NUGS program has improved and is seeding tremendously. We made sure that every local sister union gets its fair share of hosting or taking part in our union's planned annual programs. Also, visitation of embassy officials to local union was improved with greater and great history made in it for the past few months we came into office. In June last year, exactly a month after we took office, the acting ambassador of the Republic of Ghana to the Russian Federation by then, His Excellency Gordon Belleton Amazin, made a remarkable visit to Rezan State IP Pavlov Medical University to interact with students and as such tried to address their concerns. Before then, he had already visited other states including Tambov and St. Petersburg. Our union's constitution is one made with great insight and intellectualism. Nonetheless, it poses great defects and lapses which cannot be overlooked. This has prompted a constitutional review which is already on course and will be done in the next week to two before Congress. We have also organized a lot of events including educational forums as part of our planned annual programs. These have gone a long way to educate members about every important issue with regards to expectations at home. An example of such programs is the NUGS Interstate Debate Competition. For the first time in the history of our union, we are organizing the biggest awards platform ever, NUGS-RUSSIA Honors, which we are highly optimistic that it will be the greatest constellation of a year. Increment of scholarship student stipends, and reinstatement of shipment allowance for private students. Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, in recent conversations with top government officials and the scholarship secretariat, we were reassured that our communique has received a positive call, except that a little complications came in its way. Because it has been revealed that whilst undergrads anticipate for $500 stipends, postgraduates, especially in China and other parts of the world, are also anticipating for an increment to $1,000. That is not a problem. Government has agreed that our issue is different because of the economic situation, and we have given a deadline probe to our request. And if not, we shall storm the media houses again, like we did the last time in summer, pertaining to certain issues, including the above stated, which is the increment of the stipend and reinstatement of the shipment allowance. Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, what do I want to do? Fellow students, friends, when I'm voted for as president, this shall be my plan for our union. It is titled the Accelerated Development Plan for NUGS-RUSSIA, Advancing the Better NUGS Agenda. It will include 4 sessions. The first being continuity, secondly academics, thirdly finance and accounts, fourthly, last but not the least, society, culture and entertainment. The continuity. I would, during my tenure of office, continue all functioning NUGS programs, which we have already started, and see to it that they are upgraded and properly packaged. They would be propelled by better funding and support from companies both home and abroad, which due to certain reasons as explained earlier could not be realized this year. If voted for as president, I would ensure that our constitution, which is currently under review, when finished would immediately take course as prescribed by the legal structures of our union with no prejudice. Academics. We all know that we live in a country where the skills of foreign students are not put to test, especially in the fields of medicine, engineering, and other practical sciences. If I am given a chance to lead our union, I will, with effect from this summer, start a program dubbed NUGS-RUSSIA Summer Attachment Program in Ghana. Students who are interested will be assisted to purchase cheap air tickets home for their practical attachment during the summer holidays. I have from last summer started arrangements with about at least 8 regional and district hospitals, 2 of which are in Accra and 1 polyclinic also in Accra. Also, engineering and construction firms like Consa Ghana Limited, Geodrill, Azuma Mining and Drilling Groups of Companies, VRA and ECG, Amalgamated Architects in Accra, and Ponsa Firm in Kumasi, and many others have promised to give our students some practical experiences during their attachment. Let's note, this is not just a campaign promise, but an achievable plan. I will see to it that more academic competitions and shows are organized between sister unions and other countries. This would broaden our scope of learning and also promote our union on the international front. As part of preparing us for the reality at home, I shall invite officers from organizations like GMA and professionals from all walks of life to educate us and also enlighten us on our expectations at home and our working fields. Finance and accountability. Having full knowledge about finance and administration, it would be administratively infantile if I should start quoting unrealistic figures, projections, expectations, and percentages, being mindful of the fact that our union is not a money-making organization, but a student group which defends and insists on our rights as students, although we need to financially sustain ourselves per our dying needs. Money making is not our #1 priority unless it's being secluded by personal convictions. Such acts will not be condoned in my administration. We will all work together, observe together, dialogue together. All-inclusive governance would be my motto, with proper checks and balances. Our union is by far worth more than just nominal figures. Increment of stipends for scholarship students and shipment allowance for private students. Not a campaign promise as stated earlier, but a reality. A finance and welfare committee shall be established which will deal directly with sponsorship seeking and students' welfare. They will be accountable to the audit committee of our union, which in turn will report and brief our union on our financial standing quarterly. This will plate the fountain of proper management and accountability. More programs will be organized to raise funds to support our union's activities, other than our dues, which is our primary financier. None of our union's programs will be funded without a budget discussed and approved by the appropriate bodies. Nash TV, a replica of campus-based TV in Ghana, will be set up, and it shall work with our radio to raise more funds for our union. It shall be a post-event YouTube channel until it attains status to broadcast live programs. Crew members shall be members of our unions, local unions, with good skills in photography and cinematography. Provisions shall be made for the production of our union's paraphernalia in large scale for sales at local unions at reasonable prices. This will go a long way to boosting our finances at the local levels. Passport acquisition and renewal processes will be revised to see to it that non-students pay twice as students do currently, and the extra amounts that will be collected will be kept at the embassy with an accountant, which will be used to support students' welfare issues whenever the need arises. Equity and efficient tactics shall be employed to see to it that both private and scholarship students pay the same amount of dues, and that 50% of all unions return to them on time. All dues, scholarship and private, shall be paid at the beginning of every academic year. This I would negotiate with local union executives to be done. Finally, if I am voted into power, my executives and I will liaise with the embassy and some microfinancing organizations to make provisions for students to apply for special students loans and allowances schemes, which will go a long way to support their upkeep. Society and culture. As part of the NUGS Accelerated Development Agenda, I shall, together with my other executives, create an atmosphere for a peaceful coexistence between our union and the Ghanaian community in Russia. The Ghanaian community will be integrated into some of our union's activities, where they will be given ascribed roles in the organization and funding of our union. I shall ensure that our union's database is constantly updated to the standard of a growing and advanced union. The current NUGS decentralization program would be improved upon by way of visitation of NUGS executives and embassy officials to local unions all over the Russian Federation. If there is anything that detracts the essence of true leadership, it is abuse of power and extreme autocracy. My administration will be thoroughly decentralized. Student reunion programs will be organized where other countries will be invited during these sessions. They shall be a showcase of our rich Ghanaian culture, amongst many others. Counterinsurgency depends on drumming local support for the opponent, making it impossible for them to operate. We must drive a wedge between the odds and the even. Fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, it is my fervent belief that these proposals will be brought into fruition. Kindly be magnanimous and supportive enough to give me your vote on the day of elections. A new union existing in a new era. I aspire to inspire, and with participatory leadership, no challenge is insurmountable. God bless Ghana, God bless NUGS-RUSSIA, and may God bless us all. Advancing the better NUGS agenda, mobilizing for development. Vote Dr. Ferdinand-Kalemba as president. Thank you.